Oh, my pants! My bloody pants! Can't be having that. Right. Hello. Hello. Testing. Yeah. Right, where? Hello. Yeah, that's coming out. Cool. Okay. Let's have a look. Coffee break. Talking. Okay. Here we go. Right. So, since nobody's here, I'm gonna just simply ask the question to get us started. As Patrick Yagoda would say, I'm problem making rather than problem solving. So my problem I'm gonna make is, I don't know why these white squares are showing up. Now, if we just revert them, we should just be able to do that. Now we need to find out. It's like you got a drip coming into your house, and you're like, where's this drip coming from? So let's see, what buttons could we push? We got the initiative, burn and turn. Let's just create your initiative number. Why is it a burn and turn? Because for some reason in JavaScript, I can't. I've got here role initiative, and so what that does is, oh, I think I've deleted it. I have role in it. Could not be found because I think it's picky about lowercase, uppercase. Okay, so if I hit this, there we go. That simply fills this box with this formula, rand between 1 and 10, so roll a 10-sided dice, plus d39, which is the dexterity modifier. So it's pretty similar to, that's just your roll 20 standard. Now, when you hit turn, that then saves the formula as a value, but in order for it to do so, it refreshes the random roll so you get a new one. So it's not final. You don't have a final value number until you hit burn and turn, because in JavaScript, for some reason, it won't let me have these two parts where I'm sort of editing the same cell, one after the other in the same function. And all that ends up happening is, I think it just stays empty. So for that reason, I just have a burn and turn system, which is fine. It's like Texas Hold'em, you know, where you burn the first card and then take the top 3 in the river, and then for the subsequent ones you burn as well. And it's like, well, why do you burn the top one? And everybody's got a different answer. So I've hit both of those buttons, and our white squares haven't reappeared. And I didn't put them there. So if we hit the short rest button, hasn't done that. And if we hit the long rest button, can't take a long rest now. So it wasn't that then. So I don't know. I don't know where those white boxes are coming from. Take one of these guys over here, and then go back here, and go back like that. So I think I'll talk about. I've actually got some notes. I got some things I need to fix. So that's probably what I'm going to go on to next. Testing. Bingo. Okay. So, let me get up. Well, I'll just tell you. So, I've added a lot more visual elements to the front page here, which derive from other tables. Why isn't I had this thing where my taskbar won't automatically hide because one of these programs wants to tell me something, but none of them are saying anything. Very irritating. Very irritating. This also should be slightly up. So you've got your HP mana, other figures, my food and water system, hit points, and then these are the sort of the odd ones. I've already said about the initiative things. So status, what is status? Well, status is you telling me something. So if I'm like, I want to, classic, I want to steal the cleric's holy symbol. And then if we go to our Dungeon Master tab, it's already come up here, look. So on my side, I can see this guy, what he's wanting to tell me. And then he can be like, look in their status or something. But that's just the place. And it's all there in the environment. Rather than me having to go between Discord and other stuff, which is a hassle. So I'll try to keep it all in one place. More about that later. Maybe if somebody... it's much more exciting to explain it to someone. But here we've got the inventory, which I can get to because I'm going to have to come out of full screen mode, window this, and then just sit it like that. And actually, you can't even see that because I've got this banner and stuff at the bottom. But here we go. Trying to be too helpful now, just from the full screen thing. There we go. So you can see here. So on the inventory page, you have your items, and then depending on the container, so backpack or holding or wearing, that'll then give up the options for the drop down via, on the switchboard, a generated unique filter for only the items in that container, just these two columns just here, just doing that job for me. And then I use that for the drop down menu in the scores and skills, which is often something you have to think about. If there's not a direct way in Sheets to accomplish something, you need a helper, like an in-between for the process. So with holding or wearing, then when you hit the drop down, you have all those items, the items that our character Sir Salison is holding. So if you click on copper ring, we'll come up with the weight, the container, he's wearing it, and then the statistics. This copper ring is enchanted to boost your dexterity, because here, that's something I need to change. So if I can zoom in here, okay, so we are looking at, oh, didn't want to do that. We're looking at this part here, and my point is that the dexterity is mechanically added now. It's mechanically added from the inventory table over here, and so everything can have two effects. And here's our ring. Dexterity is a drop down of all the ones. +2. So then what does that do? Well, let's increase the dexterity by +2, and I do that not in the base one, but in your sort of relative active scores. Here we have D20 minus K18, which is the base VAT score minus the fatigue. But then also I've added in these some ifs. But the problem here is that it's gonna, even if you're not wearing the ring, you are effectively gonna still get a dexterity bonus from it. So up here I did something similar with max mana, but it's a sum ifs. And these two sum ifs look in O and Q, because there's two effects every item can have, for whether it is in holding or wearing. And that's what I'm just going to steal here and go down to our score here. We're going to have to change all of these, but basically we're going to take that out, right? And that's funny, but we'll just pass that. All of these will be all the way to the top. Oh. Forgot about that. Plate armor could have dexterity of -2. So if I go here, plate mail, I could put in, for example, dexterity of -2, because we're in plate mail. And then, but just gonna put in the test here, -5. I don't know why. Test here, -5. And we should see that when it all tops up. NP, okay, cool. So we go back to score the skills. 165, no, what we have here is, so firstly, C20 minus K18, and notice that this is a relative value, and this is a static one, because the $ anchor that. So when I drag it across and fill all these squares, the effect will be that the fatigue in K18 will always be the same, but the C20 will be relative because they'll become D20, E20. I can just show you that. Well, up here, it's D20, E20, F20 there. But with updating it here, the problem is it's adding inventory O and N matching to C8, which is not what we want. What we want is, instead of C8, we want C18. Just here and here, and let's see what that does. Okay, and now I should be able to drag it because, well, actually no. So I need to put in some stuff here, just to anchor everything down. Nail it all down, apart from these ones. And now I should be able to just drag this along. And this is now 14. So it shouldn't be. Dexterity -5. O and Q. O, Q, F, N or P or C18. Bring back C18. Yeah. An L, holding or wearing. Okay, cool. So that's all lined up. So that this should be a lot smaller. So what's actually happening in the dexterity cell? Let's see. D20 minus some Fs, O and Q, and P, D18, holding or wearing. D18. Well, no, because look, we're actually adding that number in. No, we want D17. If you got that before me, then well done. It's D17. So D17. D17. And then we're going to drag that across to there. And oh, did I drag over the fatigue as well? No, and what do we have here? Well, 11, because we're on 14, but we're getting +2 for the ring, so that goes up to 16, and then we're losing 5 for the plate mail, which takes it down to 11. See, so the effect would be like down here now, things like you can attempt to climb over 10 feet. I don't think that that's something that someone in plate armor should be allowed to do. But it is metallic and plate armor, so what can you do? So I'll just take that. I'll just leave it in. -5. Yeah, nasty DM. I'm a nasty DM. Okay, so we've sorted that out. That's good. That was something that was erring me. Now I'm just going to zoom out here so that we can just retake our perspective. What is next? Let's have a look at my book. So I keep notes on what breaks, fatigue with short rests, hit points, etc. I think I fixed that already. Yeah. So what happens when you take a short rest? That's what I need to decide actually. So let's have a look. Let's take a deep dive. It's time for the deep dive. Okay, deep dive. So we're looking for short rest. Here it is. Okay. So this is the sort of the important variables. Shorthands. Let's just put in shorthands. So SS sheet and switchboard. And then this is variables. So this is a number. As a number, yeah. And these are important numbers to know. These are all numbers. And now this is trigger. The if function. If count is less than max. So what does that translate into? If the number here is less than G39, your max, it's your constitution modifier, then this stuff happens. What happens? Well, we're going to set the value of these tiles to be the current health plus health, where health is defined as your constitution score. So when you take a short rest, effectively, you gain your constitution score in health back. Now, I'm not sure about this. These are the things I need to decide on. As a dungeon master, these are the kinds of rules I need to decide on. What happens when you take a short rest? And this is going to be our deep dive. Else, browser mesh box, you cannot blah 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 blah. Okay, good. So this is the part that we have to think about. Right now it does everything. And the issue is that there's a conflict with my food system here. And actually I wanted to move towards automating this more, because I'd rather, when players just have to push a button, you can get away with a lot more than if you have to actually make them do the F, because they start to question it and stuff, but you just want to hit the button. So right now our fatigue system works like this. So if you're walking, let me just do I need that open? So you get this from the map, and you figure out how long your journey is going to be, and then based on your max you can work out how many input miles. If there's more than one person, you go by the weakest link in the chain. But say you want to do it over 2 days, so we'll do 15 miles today. Since you're walking, that will give you 2 fatigue, which you'll have to reconcile at the end of the day. On top of that, you can then gain fatigue optionally by playing the travel game, which is based on Yahtzee. And hit reset, didn't I? So we're up in 15. Yeah. So what have we got here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a short, small straight. I have found a shortcut that will gain us 4 miles today. And then I can put up here that statement, and then I can hit end. And then you get your trap. Make a chunk con check or else become sick, doubling fatigue. So say we failed that con check. So fatigue would be doubled. Up here, 2 and 1 are brought round to on scores and skills to here, and we get 3 and 3. So this is how hungry you are, this is how thirsty you are. But since it's doubled, I haven't really got a system for that automated. But what the player then does is they then go, and what they then do is they go to their inventory, they sort for food, and then they have here number of items. The number of items they have you would just go down to 38, and then over here you put in 3 and 3, and that reconciles your food, gives you a well-rested bonus, or maybe you'll need 2. Oh no, give you a well-rested bonus because of rounding up and stuff. And then down here, when you hit and then here when you hit reset, over here, okay, let's try that again. So when did that fatigue go over there? Good point. When did that fatigue go over there? So let's go over here, put in our 15 miles, roll 1 fatigue, nothing. Anyway, we got 3 here now. Hit end. Yeah. Over here now, we got the stuff. That's a 5. Nothing here. -2. Exploration. Reset. Scores and skills. -2. Okay, so that's the pathway. That's what somebody's going to do, and it's, you know, it's pretty convoluted. I want to systematize that basically into one process, one button click, and it'll probably be a long rest, right? What's irritating about this taskbar that won't go away? So the design decision for a deep dive is between the HP mana system and the food water system. I mean, they're pretty much completely disconnected systems, I would say. Health and mana is like your strength for a bout of combat, which refreshes over time, up to the point of your scores, which is affected by fatigue, which is determined by this other system. So they do have an effect on one another. Let's open up a new file. Okay. So let's have a look here. What's going on? Pen's not working. Back up. There's batteries there. I don't think so. Still have bloody dust on this thing. Can't be breaking this. this is called. It lights up blue when I come down to the, when I come in contact with it, so it's not that. What is this? Come on, play the video. All of these comments are glowing as well. Is there a written description? Are you kidding me? Oh well. No pen today. I'm gonna have to get that fixed though. Yes, leave. Okay. Okay. So we were talking about the code. Mana, hit points, what to do in a short rest, that kind of thing. And the code is somewhere. Don't know, like. Right. So the code works. Oh well, that's the thing. The code works. The much more interesting question is this fatigue system, this embattled fatigue system. Also, why won't, we're going to Google anything on stream, it's why won't my taskbar hide? Wait. No. Hidden icons, huh? Those bloody hidden icons. I don't want to name this. I don't know why it's not bloody hiding. Sometimes I just, I just hate your computer. Just hate it. You start Windows Explorer, okay. No. That's interesting. That's got odd. That's also odd. No. You fucking kidding me? You kidding me? Okay. Okay, well, back to what we were doing. Because now it's hidden, I can think. Okay, So right now, if you're in exploration, maybe it's like, ideally what you want is a system where you hit end, and then it's gonna give you the fatigue already, and then you have to delete portions But is there a way? What we need is a way to get rid of the actually having to delete the portions. What we want is a kind of interface that comes up, and you select a number and an item. And you select a number and an item. Is that possible? What kind of browser messages can you, with a data input? Browser message data input, Google Sheets. Something like this. Yeah, dialogues. Alert dialogues, prompt dialogues. So we want to drop down. Let's have a look here. Let's have a look here. Is this completely nuts? Maybe. So this function is called on open, create menu, add item, show prompt, add to UI. Function show prompt. There you go. Process the user's response. What's going on? Result, get selected button. Response text. Okay, so if button equals UI button, okay. If the button equals UI button, okay. Your name is. Else if cancelled. I didn't get your name. Else if button close, user click title button, you close the dialog. So if we do this, and go here, and reload, just to trigger. So what I like about this is this part. That's going to be important because we need to get the user's inputs and direct them towards what we want them to do, which is we want them to choose a food or water item from their inventory from a drop down and then choose a number of portions. And if, so let me just write this out. So we want to user selects food or water item from a drop down. User selects user inputs number of portions of item consumed. And finally, we're going to want if number of portions is greater than or equal to user input, then if total number of portions greater than user input, then subtract from portions number of portions consumed. If false, browser dialog showing you only have portions of item. That doesn't seem too crazy now. We got all we need is to find a browser dialog that allows a drop down or autofill. That should be okay. I mean, we might need some helper cells, but this seems like a fun project for sure. So our if here, for example, will be something like this. Yeah, and our these are button prompts. What we want is let's just get something started without the drop down. So back to here. So let's have a look here. Could add it to the long rest for now. Right, okay. That's because over here I've got a little binary thing here. And so when I go back to here and hit that. Alright, so now we're putting autofills as well. Put in Matty K, go here, or how do you view log? View logs. Let's see view button now. What? Oh, so this is the old one. And up here, these will come back to max, which is the other thing that does. What I'm looking for is Okay. Hmm. Right, let's see if that works. Hey, hey! Okay, nice. Okay, so that's pretty good. It says test, that's what we want. So, okay, well that brings us to the top of the hour. So that's the end of coffee break. But I made some good progress here. Basically now I'm able to get a user input and change a response on the board. And so now with what would be good is if we could just have dry rations and then a little thing here where you eat them. Because then they don't have to input something. They just use literally this drop down here. And then we'd have a button here like eat. Hello, Ren. You thought we were going at 12. No idea why my brain went back in time, but don't worry about it, because we were just warming up. That's right, folks. We were just warming up, because now I'm intrigued to keep going. If I stop now, we're so close. We're so close. I actually am going to go make some coffee. How about that? I'm going to have a coffee break from CofeeBreak. And I will be back in 5 minutos. So I will just leave this open tantalizingly. Bloody ambulances. So what I'm going to do is leave this up and leave something in my place. Is that even, can you even see that? Okay, and I will be back. I need snacks. I need snacks. So I'm just going to put in the chat. Oh, okay, we're back. So in the first hour, I found the problem. What we're doing is, right now at the end of the day in our exploration game, the fatigue is totted up and added to here, at which point the player / user has to manually put in numbers up here in order for the fatigue, when you hit reset, to be taken. But now we have too many buttons. We got reset end and long rest, and that's no good. And also our food and water is here, but everything else in the exploration is here. I think the fatigue should be added up on the end button. No. So when we hit end, let's have a look. Roll end. Okay, it's pretty simple. All it does is sets the formula in B1. And the one here, reset button, no match found. Oh. Reset button. Okay, does quite a lot. Now if we call that confirm, you roll, reset. Reset. Unbelievable. Okay, so so to return to initially, what we're doing is automating everything that happens after this. So after this, your fatigue is totted up, and over here, you got the scores, your needs, and then the input. Now, rather than have the player go into inventory and take out an item, I want there to be a button here we need a button here. Firstly, we need to know the number of portions. And this is index I to I. The weight input. But what we want is the weight total. No, we want I and J. So here we're going to put in J. And this could also double with ammunition as well. Because if we need a way to consume things that's legitimate. We look here, there's no arrows, but little backpack. What you're wearing, and then it'll come up with our thing. We want backpack, dry rations, and this is portions. And then what we want is an eat button. Oh yes, we do have pie graphs now, and a couple of other additions. Right, so I'm going to fill this guy sort of the orange theme. This. Consume. Consume 1. Consume. Okay. And we're going to put our text box. Medieval sharp. And it's going to be, yeah, consume. Come on. What we need is that. Okay, so that's going to irritate me. Just made the button smaller. Okay, there we go. So there's our button. Maybe it shouldn't be that color, but it's just to get it working. So we got our button now. Actually, no, it should be that orange color. It should be that orange color for the backdrop. So there we go. Consume. Okay, so the way this works with the pie is that you select one of your containers, backpack, and then here you have all the items coming up. Tells you how much you're carrying in total down here. That's not, maybe check that. And then here, this drop down is basically only the things in the backpack. And now what we want to do is to be able to consume one of these portions. That's what we're after here. So we're going to need some helper cells. We're going to need some helper cells which are going to tell us additional information that the player doesn't need to know about this, but which we do. So easiest way to do that for now, well, let's think about where we're going to put it. Probably on the switchboard. Probably put it, let's add it somewhere here. And what are our helper cells going to be? Well, we need to know, and eventually this will be a system through which you can cast spells as well, because you're consuming mana. So we need to know basically item row, and the way to do that is to take this index match and put it here, and add here scores and skills. It's going to give us that same 40 as before, but what we want to do is now search for something else, which is just the row. So we do that, 15, and now if we look at what column we actually want, which is J, we can have this now say J and that, which gives us J15. And if we go to inventory and we go to 15, J15, it's going to give us 1, 2 down from the one that we want. Why? Because the table starts on 2. So that's fine. All we do is we give us +2 to the end of that. It gives J17, which is the 40 that we're wanting. So we've now got a helper cell in the switchboard, which tells us every time we choose an item what row it's on. And now We just need that every time we hit consume, that row, that cell is reduced by 1. Okay, cool. So how do we do that? Well, we've got our, we don't need this anymore. We don't want, where did I put that? Long rest. Yeah. Rid of that. Okay, so our function, I'm going to need all this. My function is called consume portion. And we've got all of this shorthand stuff. And what we want to do is set another variable, or do it like let match, let cell match equals switchboard dot get range, and where on the switchboard? I8. I8. And we also want let destination cell equals, or dest, if you want to be crude about it, dest equals sheet, which is scores and skills, dot get range dot range, and destination is, oh well, actually no, we want this to be inventory, and the destination is going to be cell match. Okay, so now we have a variable here which is which is getting the range of a cell, and then we're going to have this if dest greater than 0, or one at a time. If dest is greater than 0, sheet range dest set value dest -1. Is that going to work? Else you have no more portions of, and item. You know what? I just put no more portions of item. Although it would be nice and personalized, but it doesn't matter just now. Okay, save that. So if this works, whenever we hit the consume button, the number should go down. So consume. What's our thing called? Consume portion. Okay, so dry rations, we got 40. Let's go zoom in here. See if this will work. Will this turn to 39? No. Sheet.getRange is not a function. Probably talking about this stuff. So dest. So if cell match equals the getRange.i8, what we want is get value. And then if we try that, the dest is greater than 0. Yeah, so be something like let don't get value has to be around here. And now we go try it. Da, 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 da. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, what if I do this? Cool. That part works. Sheet don't get range is not a function. Wait, hold on. Maybe we already have it. Maybe we already have it. Maybe we don't need this. No. Ah. Wait, am I getting an error? I can't remember. No, I'm not. I'm just going from this is not being satisfied. Right, okay, yeah. Right. So what we need is if sheet don't get range. Oh, something's happened. Num. Okay, but cell match has changed. Way! Okay. All right, we are eating things now. Perfect. Let's go back and give him back that food. Okay, we're eating stuff. Amazing. Next thing we need to do is have it be digested. So we're going to need to have another helper cell. Where we look for what we need is actually something similar to this, but we're looking for H and yes, H, and we could probably put that here actually. Food. And maybe on the switchboard we could say can we just have it take this here and work it something. I think that's something the players would quite like to be able to see as well. Okay. And now we want to bring that over here, cell match, and cell type. Cell type, H, and now, after we take one away, we want another if, and that if is if cell type equals food, then if it equals food, then we want or fatigue. No. What we want is to change fatigue. So we also need the number that we're going to edit, which is fatigue. And sheet get range fatigue, which is K18. And now we have that down here. We can say set formula. Our formula is going to be equals. Oh no, we want to set a value into the formula inside. Okay, so set value, and our value is going to be fatigue minus 1. And now when we do that, this should go to 39, this should go to minus 1. This did not move. Okay. Let's do this first. Did not change. Range not found. Oh. Let's try this way. Interesting. That's why it's not working. Because sheet here's inventory. The doing? Hey, it's working. Okay, good. Right, good. Good. And then here we can put else. Right, so now we can do food and water, it looks like. So where's our water? On the saddle. Right, so we got water now, and we hit consume. It works. Okay, cool. But to test out if it's sling, Oh, well, that's no good. Seems to be doing this. Okay, well, that works at least. Oh. 0. That's why okay. It knows it's a weapon. So if cell type equals food, interesting. Have we just made cell type food? No. Impossible. Doesn't make any sense. Comes up with test here. Oh. Oh boy. Oh, it didn't increase fatigue though. Yes. Okay, so it's now differentiating between them. But actually we want that to be thing here so that we're not eating tents and stuff anymore. So now we are not eating the tents. Should be able to go back to the sling and nothing's gonna happen. Cool. Don't know why this. Browser's still coming up. Why? Haven't saved it, that's why. Nope. Ah. Bingo. Okay, nice. Nice. And then all we need is if fatigue. All we need here is if cell type equals food. So I want to put in an if and. Okay, so I should be able to do this. And fatigue is, and what we need is that don't know what's going on there. Okay, so why does this happen now? If and that's right. So the other thing we want to know is that fatigue is less than con score times because fatigue gets to -3, say, and the constitution is 3. Yeah, it should work. Of course that doesn't bloody work. Well, I don't really know how to do that, so what we're just going to do is put another F. Okay, well, I think that's come to the end of our time, guys. So I'll pick up next time. Okay, bye.